After being silenced mid-presentation in the House of Assembly explaining the details of the Orange Grove Plaza deal and lease agreement, Opposition Leader Allen Chastanet held a press conference to enlighten the public on the terms of the deal in an unprejudiced setting. According to Chastanet, the government transferred the ownership of the land to the contractor who would complete the project, and ownership of the second and third floors would be transferred back to the government. A move, he says, was beneficial to the country, and the proposed agreement would save the government and taxpayers millions of dollars.
The government agreed to temporarily transfer the building and the land to the developer to allow them to fully develop the property. The government would then lease the two top floors from the developer for 15 years at just $4 per square foot. That $4 represented the cost for the retrofitting of the building and the office space, or the government's portion of the building and office space. After which the two floors would be transferred back to full government ownership. Upon this final transfer back to the government, we would no longer have to pay a monthly lease. This agreement would have saved taxpayers approximately $40 million in rent over the first 15 years.
Chastanet has heavily criticized the Pierre administration for abandoning the lease. He calls it a gross mishandling of funds as the government continues to pay exorbitant rental fees.
Savings that could have been used to improve healthcare, fight crime, fix roads, and ease the cost of living. Instead, the SLP administration has abandoned the agreement, leaving the space vacant and unused for the last 3 years, while at the same time paying an exorbitant rent to their financiers at rates between $7 and $12 per square foot. We've even heard that the halls of justice was supposed to go as high as $16 a square foot. They have wasted $12 million over the last 3 years for a space that they have refused to move into.
He went on to say that this agreement is no different than any the government is in at present.
Under this build-own-lease transfer, or BOLT arrangement, the developer paid $13.5 million EC dollars up front, which represented the payment for the ground floor. The developer then assumed responsibility for the full renovation of the building, including the upper two floors. This arrangement is no different to other similar BOLT arrangements entered into by the government of St. Lucia. Examples include the Ministry of Infrastructure building at Union and several police stations and fire stations across the island, and the Halls of Justice project, just to name a few.
For Choice News Now, I am Chelsea Ostine.